Hello everybody and welcome to another Destiny build video. Today, Sprinkles, the shooting range sweeper bot right next to me, and I are here to bring you a Mask of Fealty Hunter build. This one is kind of insane, allowing you to basically have permanent Withering Blade melees to throw. It's absolutely insane, so without further ado, let's get into it. So here is the build in action against a swarm of Hive Wizards. As you can see, I have a ton of melees to throw, and I'm also getting my dodge back fairly quick. So I'm never running out of ways to slow or freeze enemies. This build is insane. As you can see, I went up against a bunch of Hive Wizards, which, by the way, without a good build is not the easiest thing to do, and barely lost any health. That is what this build is capable of. So let's take a few minutes to get through the build crafting. You're going to want to start here. You want a chill clip weapon. It doesn't have to be Tinashas. It can be anything, fusion, whatever. Just have chill clip because of the slow on hits. And you'll see later why slow is so important. Obviously, you need to have Mask of Fealty on, which is going to allow your Withering Blades to bounce and create stasis crystals and refund melee energy. Obviously, shattering a frozen target or a crystal is going to refund more energy and spread out more Withering Blades. And you're also going to want a melee and a class ability stat as high as you can. Now for the subclass, you're going to have Silence and Squall, obviously no other option. You're going to want Gambler's Dodge over Marksman for this. For your jump, go ahead and do whatever you would please. Obviously, melee, there's only one option, but even in the future, if there was a second one, you have to have Withering Blade for the helmet. As for your grenade, I highly recommend Duskfield. You can go for Cold Snap if you really want to, but I do not absolutely recommend it. I suggest going with Duskfield. For your aspects, you're going to want Grim Harvest, because Grim Harvest is going to allow slowed and frozen targets to create stasis shards. And that's going to allow you to pick those up and give you back melee energy, which is crucial. And Grim Harvest will give you Frost Armor. As for Winter's Shroud, we're going to use this one as our second one, not because of the main part of it, which is dodging slows, but we're going to actually use it for the slowing targets increases your class ability energy regen. Touch of Winter is a famous option, but I do not recommend it. Obviously, Shatter Dive has no use here, really. So, this is the exact two I would use. As for your fragments, go with Fissures to increase the damage of the crystals and frozen targets shattering, which obviously is going to help because you're throwing your melee at them. Refraction, just to give you some class ability energy when you defeat those slowed or frozen targets. Then I would go with probably Chains to give you some more Frost Armor chances from the Stasis Shards, because Stasis Shards have it, or will give you Frost Armor, thanks to Grim Harvest. As for our next one will be Shards. This is just going to help you get Duskfield back, because Duskfield will continuously slow enemies, which chains with Winter Shroud, which gives you back your dodge like crazy. And last but not least, for the fragments, we should go with Rime. Rime is going to allow you to get even more Frost Armor, which you're going to max out Frost Armor, and you're never going to be low anyway in it. As for our armor here, our armor mods, we're going to start here with the helmet. You're going to want to put on a Siphon. If you have the artifact mod for the current season, you can go ahead and put on the Solar and Stasis one. But even after the season, if that doesn't exist, just put on a normal Siphon mod. And that works just fine. After that, you're probably going to want a super font just to give you a little bit more super energy. But you can optionally put these out for a special ammo finder, a dynamo, anything. It does not matter. So go ahead with whatever you want. And that will really only leave like one spot left. Put a Powerful Friends. Put another Siphon if you would like. Though I wouldn't recommend that one just because you already have it on. So do what you want with that one spot. You can put anything you would like. Now for the arms, we're going to go ahead and put on 2 Focusing Strikes. This is going to help give back a lot of class energy when you hit enemies with your melee, which we're obviously using. And should your melee get any kill, you're going to get an Orbs of Power. You'll see why that's a little helpful later on. But you're going to want heavy-handed. For your chest piece, you're just going to want a Charged Up. You can optionally change Charged Up out for, say, a health font or emergency reinforcement or even another resistance. But I suggest having Charged Up. And for your other 2 slots, you're just going to want to put on some more resistances to help with survivability. For your legs right here, you're going to want to put on Better Already. Better Already is really nice to just give you some bonus health really quickly. It's like a restoration that can be stopped, but it usually gives you enough. And then Elemental Charge and Stacks on Stacks. Elemental Charge is going to allow Stasis Shards to give you Armor Charge, which we're going to get so many Stasis Shards. And Stacks on Stacks obviously just lets you get more, with Charged Up being 2 for every orb. You're going to get 2, 4 instead of 2, 3. And for your class armor, Outreach is a good choice, because it's going to reduce your melee cooldown a little more when you use that class ability. So it pairs nicely with Gambler's Dodge. Next, you're going to want Reaper. This is going to allow you to use your class ability, aka your dodge, which you're going to do a lot. And then a weapon kill will spawn an orb. And here is Utility Kickstart. This is why we want armor charges. It helps us get our dodge back way quicker, which with Gambler's Dodge refunds our melee. This is how we're going to create a chain that's going to let us just continuously keep throwing melees. Now, I've shown you this build against wizards here in the shooting range, but if we go ahead and just put the common acolytes, you'll see that this build just is not fair against lower enemies. It absolutely shreds them. One shuriken will go through about 6 of them maybe, and kill every single one instantly. It took 2 and like a dodge, 2 Withering Blades, a dodge, and I wipe out the entire shooting range, which is probably a good like 15, 16, maybe up to 20 enemies. It absolutely is insane against commons, which is why it's not even a fair representation of this build, because it just doesn't do it justice. Even going against the knights is pretty easy with this build. This build absolutely destroys all the enemies. You slow what isn't frozen, and then you freeze what isn't slowed. That really is the best way to put this build, with Chill Clip being on your weapon, slowing enemies from infinite amount of shurikens and dodges, which will just refund more shurikens, aka your melee. It's just such a good chemistry build. It just goes insane together and allows you to just wipe through any amount of adds. Obviously, this isn't no, boss DPS build, but it does what it's told to do, basically. Going up against the knights again, as you can see, it just shreds through them so easily. You barely have to do much work. I mean, you're just basically throwing shurikens, letting them go do what they want to do, freeze or slow the enemies depending on what their slow is already on them, and then you just go crazy on them. I even went ahead and switched out some mods. I put Super Font back on my helmet. I actually put Health Font on my chest piece as well, got rid of a resistance. I went onto my boots and put Recuperation on just to add a little bit more health from orbs, and put Powerful Attraction on my cape. My class stat even dropped down out of 100 to 99, and the build still does insane. So you absolutely have some good flexibility with this build. You can switch some mods to whatever fits your playstyle, build around it a little bit, and all of that good jazz. Obviously, you can go with the mods that I recommend, from both either the one at the beginning of the video to the one now that I just showed, or you can build a little bit off of it and do your own thing. That's how great this build is in terms of flexibility, and still being as strong as it is when you have all the runs that I show on. It's absolutely insane how good this build really is. But with all that being said, that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this build, and also if you have any more questions or ideas for another video, leave them in the comments as well. And while you're down there commenting, if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good jazz, because that lets me know that you want to see more Destiny videos. With all that being said, Sprinkles and I really don't know why I'm calling him Sprinkles. I saw there was a sweeper bot here in the shooting range, and the first name that came to my head was Sprinkles, but, I kind of like it. Oh well. So, Sprinkles and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, we will see you around the tower.